at the time of writing this, it is currently, what, week 6, I think, of ESEA? Something like that. But we're still going to hop back into ESEA Open. This is actually the first week of games for the season here, and I wanted to try to cover East Coast Gaming versus Wait For It Gaming. So, two organizations here in ESEA main. And again, this is the first game of the season for them at the time that it was recorded, quite obviously. We are in the future, though. And so we do know the outcome of this game here, but I'm still going to try to make it a surprise for you guys here because apparently it was something well worth watching here. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ito, and welcome to this lovely showing between the two open teams. And, I mean, see how they make their debut. Really have a lot of big questions heading into it, East Coast Gaming. A bit more of a question mark here. See, that's kind of the thing. I'm trying to think of like really big points to make, but it's always so hard to do them on the first excursion out of the season because you don't really know a lot about these teams. At pro levels, you can try to piece away other pro players and how they performed on their past teams, but open teams are pretty much always going to be a question mark since this might be the first foray into competitive for some of these players. Because of that, you might see some interesting things go down here, but right now we are seeing almost nothing interesting, nothing of note coming through. For the most part, it's just going to be a very slow default from East Coast Gaming as they're slowly trying to get control over various parts of the map. They have taken at least part of apartments, but they actually went ahead and took it back and are actually moving over towards the side of Banana at the moment here. Contact play comes through. Asimos does find one, backs up over to the B bomb site, and wait for those rotations to come through. Smokes, flashes, and all the works come in from East Coast Gaming, and right behind it will actually be the Cavalry themselves here. Trades so far, but East Coast Gaming will come out on top of this one. Now pushing into Church, trying to find a little bit more if they still possibly can. The bomb has yet to go down so far, but it finally will go down on that mark here. Mac in an aggressive position over towards Church. Might be caught out in the open, and indeed he is. Now, Ball Every Day will have to trade it out, but unfortunately be met with a little bit of resistance. He goes down immediately here. Hornet tries to hold off the bomb, and it's staying alive for a surprising amount of time. Lift now has to do it all by his lonesome in this first round of the season for him, and he doesn't quite get the shots off onto Bagheera. A triple kill for him and a triple kill from Lift, but eventually it will go the way of Wait For It Gaming. Unfortunate stuff there. Thing is, East Coast Gaming had a lot of good stuff going for them in that sort of occasion that they had basically just stuck to them. They got the bomb down in a man advantage situation, but unfortunately losing those two players over by Church basically just ruined their hopes and dreams of finishing up the round in a confident fashion. And because of that, really, there's only so much that a player can do, especially if they get taken down within a moment's notice like that. But East Coast Gaming still aren't quite warded off here. They will buy up fully into this next round here and meet grenades right off the bat here. You see a lot of CT teams, as of recent, just like to go for nade stacks down mid and Banana kind of at the same time. It really does find a lot of early information and, find lots of early damage. And this time they actually found something a little bit more than damage. They actually found an entire player, and that's something that they can definitely work on. That being said, East Coast Gaming won't take that sitting down. They will trade out one player here and actually trying to attempt to get out another, but unfortunately Snake still stays alive, and while he's barely kicking, he's still in the round. That presence, that body in the server is really going to make a big difference. And that being said, they don't really need it. Asimos shows up over towards the top of Banana with a triple kill. He wasn't very present over in Banana in the last round. He backed off the position almost immediately and almost entirely. But this time he goes huge, finds a lion's share of the kills in this round, and Lift now has to win a 1 versus 3 to make this force-up worth it for East Coast Gaming, but this is not the best showing for them so far. Although Lift will find the first kill with the Galil, he surely isn't going to be expecting a player on top of the flower pots, and indeed, that does seem to come pretty true for them. The force-up doesn't quite work out for the T's despite that close round, or that close pistol round just barely getting away from them. Because of that, they will be 2 rounds weaker than their opposition, but they still will try their best here again, forcing up a couple of pistols. They haven't completely given up on the dream yet, although it doesn't exactly seem likely at the same time. There's a push in from Dashbiel. That's actually over towards apartments, and simply because of that, he can just hold down this entire area with that single Molotov. He knows that there might be a player over towards balcony. Won't back up, or will back up, and chooses not to take the fight just yet. Snake, meanwhile, goes for some information over towards mid, also finding nothing. This is the same stack that we saw Wait For It Gaming use in their pistol round, and this time you see Asmos is again aggressing over towards Banana here, perhaps trying to find some more information if he so possibly can, but disciplined so far from the CTs and not too much to write home about. Seems that East Coast Gaming are setting up for a bit of a Hulls pop at the moment here. We're just really running up that porch side here. That being said, will they be able to deal with it is a different question in its entirety. Flash will go down, and Samo peeking right behind it will help himself to 1, maybe 2 kills before he goes down. The rest of his team is there to trade him out, and it's SNK as well as Dashbiel able to find the remaining players in the server. 3-0. Pretty decent start for Wait For It Gaming. They managed to win that force up from East Coast Gaming, plus the pistol, of course, and also, you know, the bit of the freebie that was thrown at them. So they got some of those earlier challenges out of the way, and now their momentum from that pistol round isn't going to exactly work the same way. East Coast Gaming have invested AKs into this, and they should be able to at least fight off Wait For It Gaming a little bit more. Again, Ball Every Day will fall victim to the grenades down over towards mid/banana. This time he won't die, but he is tagged down to about half HP, so not exactly the best sights either way. As Hornet just holds down Banana, watch for any pushes. Right now he would be wise to just wait for it, and indeed, if he waits for it, it does eventually happen. Tries to also read out the stack. Unfortunately loses his life as he's trying to do that, but that being said, there is always a trade coming through, so it's not the end of the world. Lift, fully committing into this B site at the moment, is entering it all by himself here. This is so much information found, but the bomb is not in the hands of the T's at the moment. Mac has still yet to pick it up. Wait For It Gaming can just go ahead and patiently wait on these rotates here. A 2-1 split, excuse me. Still leaving one player, SNK, over towards EA bomb site, but again, a majority of the players will be now pushing in over towards B. Resmoke comes through. Dashbiel might have realized that him rotating was a bit too much of an early call. His teammate will fall victim to the player sitting on site, situated on site, Lift. And suddenly this round becomes a lot more impossible, and Wait For It Gaming are basically forced into saving at the moment. Crazy shot comes out from AJ. Oh man, that was like one of the few choices that Dashbiel had to find that kill too, but just gets absolutely wide swung. Wide flicked. Is that the correct call for it? Who knows? East Coast Gaming will get their first round up on the board in a rather confident fashion, I should say. They looked relatively decent while doing it. I mean, thing is, Wait For It Gaming, they're kind of always between a rock and a hard place. There's not a ton of great stuff going for them, and you know, while they tried working with it the best they could, pretty much all they had going for them was perhaps getting lucky on those rotates and situating those players over towards B. But Dashbiel, unfortunately, was just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. His teammate was pushed forward over towards Church, and there's really only so much that one player can do. And even then, he didn't exactly get much done. Nades over towards mid yet again. Otherwise, almost an entire full save from the CT side. The one gun that Wait For It Gaming have has actually found a kill so far. The second will come from a P250 in the hands of Bagheera. SNK still has his gun, but Mac is raining terror from above. Going from the top of mid and taking down 2 players gives East Coast Gaming yet another chance to get back into this round. It's not looking fantastic for either side, I'll have to be completely honest. Wait For It Gaming have already found pretty decent damage. Even if they were to lose that from here, that's 2 guns out of the hands of East Coast Gaming. But surely, they can actually find a little bit more. Bagheera is jump spotting over towards Banana, and that's really good information. So they can just go ahead and let Wait For It Gaming stack up over towards the opposition, towards the opposite site, excuse me, and hopefully try to find a couple of more kills if they so possibly can. But Mac is just absolutely rolling them at the moment here. He's on a quad kill and has absolutely 0 signs of stopping. He's entry did over towards alt mid, and now the A bomb site. Let's see if he can find this last remaining member. Bagheera doesn't exactly want anything to do with it, and will back up. Now 3-2. East Coast Gaming, again, keeping it competitive. They've had a good run. That being said, I was a little bit spooked by the beginning of this round. It was a bit scary, you know? East Coast Gaming, they went down 2 players immediately, and those were rifles that Wait For It Gaming, if they got them earlier, could have actually used them a bit more into their hands to try to secure more kills. But luckily, East Coast Gaming were on their mark and able to get off on a pretty good note. 2 guns dropped is not too shabby whatsoever. Actually, excuse me, I think it was 3. 1 player dying over towards the end of that round. But still, a rebuy will come through. Hell, you even see Ball every day is picking up a Mac 10 with a little bit more util. A bit of a slower play already, just because East Coast Gaming aren't quite ready to push out aggressively yet. Failed Molotov as well, coming through from the members of ECG, but overall they're looking okay. Not much to write home about. This has been their standard default so far, minus the fact that they have actually given up Banana. Take a look at that. Been interesting, that smoke going down towards the bottom of Banana. It's something that East Coast Gaming are perfectly fine respecting. Back here, though, wants to push upon it. As the smoke has faded for East Coast Gaming here, they might want to slowly try to retake that Banana control, but it's a very, very dangerous thing for Baghira to actually be situated here still, especially since it looks like his position has been given up. Indeed it has. It goes untraded as well. Poor Baghira gets caught off guard, and Asimos, all he can do is just watch as his poor comrade falls. Banana control heavily now secured for East Coast Gaming, and they basically got that for free. Hell, they are actually the ones benefiting from that map control. Mac finds a kill elsewhere. That's over on the A bomb site. So throwing a bit of caution into the wind. Wait For It Gaming. Now they just really have to, well, wait for an execute to come out from the side of East Coast Gaming, but they're going to be caught off guard everywhere they go. Dashfield, who has still situated himself over towards the A bomb site, does find a kill and actually partially drag a rotation over. But that being said, again, the execute begins over towards B. There's just absolutely no stopping this train, it seems. Sure, Asimos is able to get a kill, but it's still 3 versus 2 as the smoke clears, as the dust settles. This is already going to be such a difficult task for Wait For It Gaming that it might be in their best interest just to go ahead and save these AKs. There's really so much that they would have to do so quickly. I mean, their util, they have 2 smokes to work with, so that could potentially be something. In fact, that is actually going to be pretty much their only chance of making this one work. Couple of nice shots coming through also makes things a little bit sweeter. There's a smoke down over towards Banana here, and also a Molotov in towards Stark. Ball every day spots a play where the Not actually backs up around the corner and finds the kill. AJ will be there to convert the second, and that eventually convert it into a third. Very, very much needed round at that too. I mean, 3-3. It wouldn't have exactly changed the game in case they would have lost that. But, I mean, take a look at the money at the moment for ECG even after winning that round. I mean, it's still pretty poor. Mac and Hornet, they could be doing better. Not to mention AJ has an AWP in his hand here against pistols of all things. Wait For It Gaming actually have something pretty decent going for them here. Hornet already, though, over towards mid will go ahead and quickly shut me up. And the pistols seem to be getting shut up very quickly as well. One of the more anticlimactic rounds of this game so far. There's really only so much drama that you can bring to a round like this. I mean, full pistols brought into play and ECG just not really respecting the space that the CTs are trying to get. It's a pretty deadly recipe, isn't it? It's just a quick cleanup like that. Not too shabby whatsoever. ECG now take the lead on Inferno, and how many is that now? 4 in a row? Pretty good stuff. I mean, it's already looking to be a little bit more of a considerable T-side half than I think Wait For It Gaming would have expected, nor wanted. But they'll still continue the fight. Double AUGs brought into play, and double M4s as well. Asimos, who has been one of the consistent B anchors of this entire game here, is this only stuck onto FAMAS duty. Very light utility as well. And while Wait For It Gaming are going for a cheeky boost over towards mid here, they have yet to really find the results that they would have hoped. Aggression down Banana as well. AJ finds nothing, tosses down a nade, and lets him have it for now. Being able to retake Banana in some of these later parts of the round has been a pretty decent cause for them, I have to say. Hanabana says this boost. See, thing is, that boost works, but the player below him, I think, was crouching, and you have to be standing up to actually make it connect. And speaking of things connecting, there's a shot from AJ that's connecting. Good little thing from him right there. A 4 versus 5 to start things off is a perfect sign for East Coast Gaming, to be completely honest. Oh, Molly out over towards that cubby. Poor whole SNK just had absolutely zero chance. Nothing you can even do in that situation. A perfect pop flash from Zamo, sure, but no one's there to witness it. Reflash will come through. Hornet. I don't know what he's exactly trying to set up for here. I mean, there's a lot going the way of the T's at the moment. They just end it without utility. They don't give a damn about using their nades. They can just win it with the gunfights alone, and it happens. A flurry of duels all the way across the map. You can only spectate one, but there's so many to choose from, it feels like. Wait for it, Gaming, get knocked down. Yet another peg. That means that ECG will again take a commanding 5-3 start. I say commanding as well because look at the buy that is in here from ECG. It's minimal, to say the very least. Not really too much, again, you can expect from this one here, especially when the first shots, the first couple of duels don't go their way. Everybody's getting in on the action. 4 players on the side of ECG and 4 kills for every single one of them. Ball every day is the only one who's been left out. And even then, he might have a chance with Bagheera. Stuck with an Eagle against the World. But I think the World just might roll them at the moment. AJ peeking down mid. We'll just respect anything that Bagheera is trying to pull off. I mean, this would just be a really good time for Gaming, maybe just to think about themselves. Really, what's going wrong? I mean, obviously their ecos aren't probably the rounds where they're going to make a big dent in the defensive, or I guess the offense of ECG, but these have been pretty pitiful attempts so far. Their gun rounds haven't been exactly much better either. 3-6 it is. And it continues. Hana, when are you streaming, by the way? Are you going live soon, right? I want to watch you play Ants of Valor. 6 p.m. EST? Okay, I was going to say, I can't believe you started an hour and a half ago. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Well, speaking of things that make sense, the Spy makes pretty decent amount of sense for Wait For It Gaming. Finally bringing the AWP out feels like something we haven't exactly seen that much of, and it comes out from no one else but the B anchor himself, Asimos. It's an interesting name, but an even more interesting play. Does that nade actually connect? It does. I really like that nade. I've never seen that lineup for that before, but it's incredibly effective. And one of those. Hana, you fell for my pog. Got him. Oh man, it works every time. Anyway, still no players going down. ECG can be relatively happy about that fact alone because, I mean, really, they've been so good at finding some of these early kills. Wait For It Gaming constantly having to play from the back foot is never a good sign for them. They'll try their best, but they don't seem to be succeeding. Again, giving up 6 in a row. Really having a lot of hope on this AWP in particular. A lot of hope in their B defense in particular. Look at this. The rotates are just non-existent. Dashfield is going to be so far away from actually making that B site Tate. And, well, I mean, although there is a Molotov to come through to ward off and actually buy a little bit of time, it's actually the perfect recipe for success. 2 kills go the way of Bagheera before he gets traded out. That's great, but it's a solo play at the end of the day. Now, Asimos gives up his position, but for some reason Hornet repeaks into it. How is this B defense working so swimmingly? I have no clue, but Lift, all he can do again is just watch that kill feed as all of his comrades die one after another. Asimos will pick up 2K for the round here, and Wait For It Gaming as a team together pick up another. It's a bit of a strange play from ECG, I have to say. Maybe a bit too slow. Way too slow, I dare say. I mean, they had, like, something decent going. I think it's fair to assume. It was actually, you know, the B execute getting themselves in that state was good, but that Molotov really kind of threw a spanner in the works and made everything ever more difficult to actually take advantage of. And, you know, they just didn't really have a set protocol for it. They ended up smoking it out and then just trying to push through it. But at that point, I mean, that could just allow Baghira to push in through CT and find himself 2 kills for free. No fun to play against, I'm sure, but unfortunately, that's the reality of going up against the CT side. I'm sure Wait For It Gaming have to be really happy with that. But they'll be quickly saddened yet again as Asimos gets taken down immediately. That's the Opper over at B. And while Wait For It Gaming have yet to budge their rotates at A, since they have spotted Mac over towards the balcony, maybe they have the right idea. Baghira is backed up onto site with a FAMAS only to work with. This is a really difficult situation for Wait For It Gaming to be in at the moment here. They have the right idea by gambling over towards A, just because Mac has really shown a lot of presence time and time again. Zamo, I mean, I'm surprised he's actually still trying to be alive and kicking and pushing for this duel. Speaking of pushing for a duel, there's a duel happening over towards mid. It's insanely awkward, but somehow the CT gets out nearly unscathed. Chat Dashbiel gets away with murder, and there's no one there to watch. 20 seconds as they're choosing to execute onto a site, but they need to move quickly. There's barely any time remaining. They think that they're Navi at the moment here, but it's far from simple for them. Ball every day, flashed up entirely, means that Baghira can find 1 kill, traded out by AJ, but they need to get the bomb down, and SNK has absolutely no intentions of letting that happen till it kills 2 players, and the round is over. Mac, show off that default knife, but East Coast Gaming, they were just so slow through every single part of that. They weren't winning their gunfights either. I mean, the pressure really got to them, you know? What they're doing with that late pop B, you know, it was a decent enough late round call, I think it's fair to say. But, I mean, by that point, they needed to make sure that CT smoke hit, and it missed. That basically ruins the entire round because it's just going to constantly prove to be a danger. Going for something a little bit quicker this time around. Somehow Dashbiel loses that duel versus Mac. I can't believe that actually worked out. That's a huge kill coming through. Mac will try to double up, find another if he so possibly can, but unfortunately, no such luck. That being said, he still disappears into pit. He gets taken care of, traded out just as quickly. SNK now swings around wide, finds a triple kill, and holds down the site, making it a 1 versus 2. Actually looking for number 4 if he can, and gets it with the last couple of bullets. That's really a solo effort all on SNK. Up to 12 kills. He has been the star of the show for Wait For It. You haven't even had to wait that much to see him come alive. Averaging 1 kill per round at the moment here. It's pretty smooth sailing for the CTs in their past couple. Thanks to having some of those solo plays, it makes things ever more easier here, and they're trying to continue it again. Asimos, oh my lord, he gets flashed up, gets away with an op shot, but it's only a leg and therefore not a converted kill. Baghira tries to go ahead and help out his teammate, but instead just loses his life. It's a tragedy in 2 acts. Can ECG even get out nearly uncontested as well? You see a bit of a jump scare. Thanks for the new pinned tweet. Wait, what? What did I say? Uh-oh. Did I say something silly? Oh, wait, no, is it the pog nade thing? See, that's why you need good FFC emotes. Oh boy, Wait For It Gaming. This is such an awkward position again for them to be in here. They can't just keep relying on SNK to find these lovely solo kills. I mean, as much as I would wish, that 4K is not going to happen all the time. He will try for it again, though, but, I mean, that's exactly what happens when you play with matches. Snake gets burned. I'm not sure if it's Snake or SNK. What the hell was that shot from Dashbiel? Oh, my lord. Lovely little 90-degree flick. But again, it's kind of a hollow victory. Sure, you get a nice little duel down, but at the end of the day, you got to save those guns. The money is poor. Feeble from Wait For It. They'll have 1,900 coming into their pocket, so SNK can buy no problem. Asimos should be able to drop a gun over to Baghira as well. I mean, it's just unfortunate. There's been a couple of decision-making errors, choices in Wait For It Gaming that have really kind of, I don't know, it's led to the loss of some of these rounds. Simple as that. I mean, I'm thinking just right there, SNK, there's pretty much nothing he could do other than just try to hold the line. Oh, Lord, they even drop another gun. That's terrible news. But SNK, I mean, there's really only so much he could do as an A anchor other than just try to bunker up in a kind of one-off position. But he has unfortunately exposes himself right into another angle, and it's a rough draw. I mean, I feel like he did as much as he possibly could there, and he was just kind of met with a rough draw. That being said, for East Coast Gaming, they have done a good job at least exploiting it. So it's something to work towards. Another aggressive smoke over towards the T-ramp. Two players will cross, and Asimos still yet to exactly fire off a shot. But no problem yet. As the smoke clears, you see that ECG seem to be just giving up on the idea of going banana entirely, but this plays right into the cards of wait for it. Again, retaking banana control later on in the round has been a integral part of East Coast Gaming's success so far. If they can get away with the lion's share of the rounds in this half, that would be huge news. Unfortunately, though, Asimos is still ever present at banana, and he will be able to find one. Not quite the second that he hopes for, though. Smoke will go down to ruin that plan, and somehow, some way, Hornet finds a double kill right as I say that. Zamo lurks behind the smoke and is going to be going for a double kill of his own, and indeed, he's going to do it. A double. It's double trouble for the doubles. That means that it's a 2 versus 2, and now we're just basically playing a game of wingman. The bomb is planted, and ball every day has an op at the ready. Planted default. And Lift is in a really strong position as well. Pretty much the only thing that they have to worry about is anyone coming up over towards porch side, but that doesn't even have to be a worry anymore. They've even realized where the second player is, and ball every day just has to hold the line. Lift will do all the heavy lifting. And 6 to 8 we go. East Coast Gaming are making this one hell of a T-side half. Honor, I also feel like I should disclose to you that I'm actually casting over a demo at the moment, a replay. Because I have been contracted by East Coast Gaming to cover their games. All of them. But it still is fun content nonetheless here. I mean, I feel like Zamo had the right idea of what he could have done. This is an absolute disaster, though. 2 kills just like that. That's a very one-sided affair. I'm actually surprised they're lasting as long as they are at the moment. Dashbuke finds one with his Deeg, and what is even going on at the moment? Wait for it Gaming have effectively snuck themselves into very interesting positions and can actually work off of it. 1 on 3. If they can find any more damage, that would be huge news, but unfortunately it's not a headline that I'm going to be remembering. 9 to 6 at the half, and really, I gotta say, they're looking damn good while doing it. ECG, again, that is the statistically unfavored half that they just managed to come out on top of with a 3-round lead at that. Wait for it Gaming. Now's basically the time where I wouldn't say they need to win this pistol, but it would help them if they at least had the pistol round under their belt. Even if they don't win the follow-ups, that's a different scenario entirely, but I mean, I'm thinking like ECG, if they convert this round after the pistol, then we could be seeing a 12-6, and that would just be an absolutely monstrous scoreline to have to go up against, excuse me. That being said, I don't think I have to worry for all too long because kills are going every which way, all of them for the side of ECG. As SNK is trying to pull it back into his team's favor, he'll only find one. Sure, ball every day will be able to trade it out, no problem. Stays alive a bit longer than I was expecting, but the job is finished. And a triple for ball every day puts him up to 8. And 10 to 6 we go. ECG, at least looking confident while they're doing it. They're on to double digits already. And they have another chance to convert into number 11. It's been secure play from them. They've gotten it together. At the moment, they don't even have to change anything up. Just go ahead. Yeah, toss those nades down towards banana and mid. It's free. Free damage. Poor Bankira is going to be ever present for it. 48 HP already. Wayfair Gaming have actually been granted a decent amount of map control at the moment, though, and ECG, they're showing a lot of respect to it. That being said, they still draw the line at trying to kill the enemies. They won't allow that to happen if they can so possibly help it. And despite some of these strange duels happening over towards places like trenches, for instance, it will go the way that I think we all expected. And ECG will find themselves now on 11. SNK tries to convince me otherwise. He was in a one and done position, but couldn't even find the one before he is done. A flawless anti-eco is great news for the CTs. It works on their economy just a little bit more, sure, but this is also equally as good of news for Wait For It Gaming as well. 5 AKs across the board for a round number 3 buy is always a fantastic headline to look forward to, and because of that, now CTs are going to be on the back foot here, and they haven't really upgraded, so it's going to be tough for them to actually deal with these AKs as a result. SNK pushing towards the top of Banana will actually have no luck whatsoever. Same with his teammate Zamo, already off to a perfect start. They have 2 AKs that they could pick off the bodies and try to work with here. Hornet will do exactly that, but he's already done his job. He's found a double kill. Asimos, meanwhile, over towards apartments, will find 1 kill for his trouble, but at a man disadvantage yet again. ECG should be able to close this one out. There are a couple of things going their way, though. Wait For It Gaming will have to play a little bit more patient, no longer having the bomb in their possession. They will pick it back up, though, eventually, but that just burns a little bit of time off the clock here, and that wick is ever shortening. Under a minute now. Wait For It Gaming continue with their 2-2 split here. Solid positions. Not really much to say. I mean, just trying to deny them of any crazy map control, and I think they would be a little pressed to finish it up, assuming they just keep holding these positions, holding the line, because love might never be on time. Execute happens with about 30 seconds left on the clock here. Ball Every Day will be the first and main face to worry about at the B-bomb site here. He finds 2. His teammate in arms can't quite do exactly the same. He actually gets taken down without even a hint of damage onto Asimos, who will go ahead and plant the bomb, try to back up, retreat over towards Stark, but unfortunately will meet with the Reaper right about then. This is exactly what I was scared about, you know? The CT's winning that pistol, plus the conversions coming through. Well, I mean, this was 6-9.5. As nice of a number that is, it just goes to show you how crazy that pistol round momentum can really be. You know, I said they needed to get their conversions correct, and East Coast Gaming, they're acing this test so far. It's 12-6 at the moment, 4 more to close it out. While Wait For It Gaming now have a big mountain to climb. They need 10 more, I believe it is. Either way, it's not exactly looking too promising for them. But with Deagles bought up here, they'll try to work with what they got. That being said, it's hard to exactly be convinced and believe in the same idea. So Max spots a player over towards apartments, finds a freebie, and the trade isn't through either. Bad news now. Lift will probably be able to find another one as well. He's watching any boiler aggression, but overall has a pretty strong position to watch over towards the porch side here. Bit of a fumble, but eventually gets a kill. And Christ, a crazy one from Snake will actually make this a little bit more awkward for Wait For It Gaming. And they get 1 kill. Overall, though, they're kind of relying on some of these miracle plays. ECG just have solid enough positions to not get caught off guard. Zamo, there's no way he pulls this one off, right? That would be absurd if he did. Okay, yeah, he doesn't. We're not going to be seeing any miracles so far, or for this game, rather. 13-6, it's looking awfully one-sided at the moment, and I think it's fair to say the scoreline kind of reflects it, doesn't it? Surprised there hasn't been a tactical timeout called at all, but well, they seem to know better than me. Buy up again from Wait For It Gaming. They actually need to get some real damage done this time around, though. They won't exactly have that much wiggle room to work with if they lose this one as well. Already off to a better start. They trade 1 for 1. One of my main mottos that I like to say is that a 4-on-4 always favors the T side because they can effectively split up that defense almost uncontested. You see now, look at this. ECG have to either gamble That's stacking 3 players over towards one site or make it 2-2. Either way, it's not going to be exactly the most ironclad defense. They have to constantly worry that, hey, Wait for It Gaming could just overrun us at any time. Outnumber them. From there, you have to, I guess, you have to rely on solo plays a little bit more, but for the most part, ECG have done a decent job on not really expecting the most in that regard. Everyone on ECG seems to be performing for the most part. Even players like Ball Every Day have had their moments in the spotlight despite overall being on the bottom end of the scoreboard for his team. Been having his moments. Contact made over towards B. Rotation not brought out here, but I think Wait for It Gaming eventually do want to end over towards this site here. Smoke will go out over towards Coffin. And a rotate again does get converted. Smoke over towards CT as well. Hornet will be at the ready to help out Ball Every Day. And they actually take it back. Wait for it. Have indeed waited for it here. Now noise made over towards A. Mac is going to have to be quick on the rotate here, but it's brilliantly played by Wait for It Gaming. This is exactly why it's so hard to really make it worth making a full rotate, and why a 4 versus 4 is so detrimental at times. That being said, AJ is overcoming this difficulty with great ease. Zamo and Asimos will find 1 kill per, and even a TK comes through from Ball Every Day. Comes down to a 1 versus 1. Zamo has had a pretty quiet game so far, but he's looking to make some noise against Ball Every Day, but unfortunately, the 2 quiet players are stomping around on the A-bomb site, and eventually the kill will go the way of ECG, and round number 14 is right there. I think I understand why they want me to cast over this game again. It's been a crazy one so far. I mean, some of these rounds haven't exactly been as close as I think anybody expected. ECG, I mean, they're at 14, only need 2 more, but Wait for It Gaming, they still have another bye in their hands because they got that round so close. I mean, hell, that was down to a 1 versus 1. They basically pulled the wool over the eyes of ECG. They could try doing something similar and probably just win it out. First kill even goes their way. Lots of good stuff to look forward to in this round here, but the round is nearly over just 20 seconds after starting it. It's a 2 versus 4. CTs have absolutely zero shot of making this one happen. Mac and Lift are both going to be trying their heart out here, but will only be met with death. 4-on-1. Mac probably just going to save his gun here. Going for a 1v4 would just be too tall of an order. I mean, the money for your team is non-existent. Yeah, he realizes probably not the best idea to go for this, making a bit of noise as he gets out, but should be able to keep that M4 for a rainy day. An absolutely massive round buffer, though. I mean, they should be able to close this one out just based off the numbers alone. Matt goes for an ego peek at mid, but Bag Hero won't let that happen and find a kill. Wait for It Gaming at now half the score of East Coast Gaming, but this is their chance to again, indent another notch into it. They're going to be up against pistols here. Full stack from ECG. Also have nades. I feel like these nades would actually be a pretty decent call for them here. I'm surprised back here I actually didn't get damaged up more, but it's a good idea. Lots of info given to Wait for It Gaming off of that, though. They realize that there's at least 3 players over towards B. And will, because of that, bring it towards the opposing side. AJ, hearing players push up over towards mid here, will be walking through the smoke at mid. This is insanely dangerous here, and I mean, surely Bag Hero is going to watch for it here. Notices a player over towards mid. AJ goes for the commit anyway. I mean, hell, you do have to make gambles like that when you're up against pistols. Or when you're on pistols, rather. But this just seemed a bit crazy for my taste here. Zamo basically luckies upon 2 players. Unfortunately, Lift and Mac are taken out of the server just like that. 3 versus 2. Any more damage done to Wait for It Gaming at this point here would be pretty monumental. That being said, I don't think ECG are going to be given the time of day, really. Hornet was going for it. Unfortunately, though, Asimov, not Asimov. That's a video game skin. Is wise to it. Knocking on death's door will be Wait for It Gaming, and, well, they will find number 8. It still kind of feels like there's a long way to go if they actually want to pull off this comeback. ECG are perfectly happy taking their time. It's going to let them have a couple of these freebie rounds. Wait for that lost bonus money to start really rolling in. And are they going for a stack over a mid or a run boost, perhaps? I think they're going for a run boost. No, they're stacking on top of each other. Lift will be at the ready to provide alternative angles. All in all, though, probably a lost round already. Especially giving up that first kill, having to bring a rotate over, lift. I mean, with a Desert Eagle, and that's it. What can you do against 5 AKs, all of which who want your brain? Pretty much just die. I think that's the available list of options that he has. There's a bit of an interesting stack going on over at Brackets. AJ is also there to provide some sort of crossfire coverage, but it's a one-and-done position. They really have to get insanely confident with these duels. They actually have a decent shot at it, but I mean, if they die, those are the last pillars of hope for ECG in this round. Flash over mid, Dashfield overwhelms and taken out exactly what they needed to do. Now back into a 4 versus 4. The player who's holding over towards the porch side is no longer anywhere to be found. And what is this? Wait for It Gaming. They've actually faked going B and actually have planted over towards the A bomb site. This is absolutely monstrous. I love this. And I don't believe the CTs are any the wiser. Zamo, feel free to go down if you like. The round is over, my dude. You guys have the bomb down. Now, sure, you know, that round has some problems. ECG are able to get away with 3 AK-47s and effectively save a boatload of money, but I mean, I liked what Wait for It we're going for. I can appreciate the sentiment. But you shouldn't be giving AK-47s to the CTs, because that's one of the best guns in the game. I kind of liked what Wait for It Gaming were at least going for there, but not exactly sure if that was the call. I can kind of see both ends of it. They just really wanted to convert that round. Right now they need rounds more than anything. I mean, they're basically knocking on the door of overtime if they can continue at this rate. 14-9. The gap is shrinking. But it's another full buy from ECG. Gorgeous shot from AJ to start things off on a great note here. Quick kills happen over towards Banana to try to trade us out, but again, numbers do favor ECG. Samo's is hit hard, excuse me, as well. Bomb also not in the grasp. I mean, Wait for It Gaming, there's not a lot of great stuff going for them at the moment here. They need to retrieve bomb. That burns a little bit of time off the clock. They're down numbers. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to feel exactly optimistic about this one. ECG could probably bring a rotate over towards A since they have a player stuck in that flower pot position ball every day. He's done a decent job at least anchoring the position. Seem to be ready for an A execute. I'm not exactly sure if Hall's pop is the right idea. They need to really take care of Pitt, though. I mean, Pitt is just such a crazy strong position. Although Mac is ready for the flash, he is even going to be able to find a kill before he drops, and that's going to be one of the final nails in the coffin. AJ even finds a kill into the healthy player, Bakira. Zamo, what can he even do in this sort of scenario here? Maybe hit a shot like that. That's a damn great start, but it's nothing more than just that, a start. That's quickly finished, and ECG improved to 15. One more from closing out this, well, what was for them at the time, first game of the season. Getting off to a confident start, though, nonetheless. One more to close it out. Those AKs still being rotated around in the CT spawn proved that maybe giving them up wasn't the brightest of ideas, but you know, they'll try to work with what they got. Again, the T's really need rounds at this point here. They're going to need to get 6 in a row just to bring it to OT. That becomes a different beast entirely. Oh, Christ. ECG are just done. They want to end it right here, right now. Playing from a 4 versus 5 again is never fun. That being said, Wait for It Gaming, they've done a decent job historically, at least evening things up, but I don't know. This is still such a tall task. Pretty standard util usage down towards Banana. It's not great. In fact, East Coast Gaming are just giving up on Banana entirely, letting the T's have it. This is actually probably a huge mistake that they just did. They weren't holding on for this banana control whatsoever, and allowing the T's to overrun it here actually might lead to their demise. Ball every day, still sitting atop these flower pots at the moment. Spots a player on site here, but Bakira will check for it before it's too late. Getting the bomb down, and the mistake is finally starting to come to fruition. Although Bakira gets tacked up to 38 points of health here, it's a 4 versus 4 for the retake, and Wait for It Gaming have such strong position to close out this round as well. Bakira will prove exactly why. Get a great shot over towards Banana. Dashpio boosted on top of triple, finds another one for his trouble. Hornet and AJ both need to pull this one off here, but neither of them can find effective duels whatsoever. Hornet tries going for the spray down, but alas, it falls flat on its face, and Wait for It Gaming, they continue to stay alive. That was a round obviously it was a round that they needed, Wait for It Gaming, but the fact that they did it from a man disadvantage like that is huge news, I have to say. Practically just gifted that banana control. Really changes up the game entirely, so hopefully not something that they're going to repeat again. They're going to try again having some sort of banana control, but probably going to get quickly snuffed out if they try to overstay their welcome here. Deagle's at play, but we're not going to be seeing a happy level play coming out from Hornet, nor are we going to be seeing that from Ball every day. He gets Kobe'd. Because of that, the round is, as good as over. Flash over. Bomb planted as well, so East Coast Gaming, at this point, I think their flow chart looks a lot like, look for exit frags aggressively, try to get out with a gun. They're going to be having, 2,400 coming into their pockets after this one, so they should have enough money to buy up. AJ, what the hell is he doing? He just goes ahead and Leroy Jenkins that one. Mac tries to go ahead and ease the pain a little bit, but only dies as well. Now Left is backing up for dear life. Surely going to get chased down, though. Yeah, they at least take another gun. Not the best of ecos, but not exactly the worst either. More effective than some of Wait for It Gaming's were. A lot of their time on the CT side. Still, a rebuy will come through. East Coast Gaming ready to close this one out if they so possibly can. Winning this first duel will be monumental for them, but they can't choke it again. Giving up that 4v5 at 15-9 was such a huge mistake from them. Surely they don't repeat it. They're respecting the banana control given to Wait for It Gaming, but they aren't exactly expending their utility to hold on to it for too long either. That's mainly because it's pretty scarce. They don't have a ton of utility going their way. 2 smokes. Enough to buy yourself about 30 seconds. Assuming they just don't straight up push through it, that is, of course. But for the most part, they seem to be respecting it. Wait for It Gaming, just trying to, wait for a kill. Standard default for the most part. And Bomb makes its way up towards Banana. So ending B seems to be their final call. Although those ammo's lit up here, surely he's just going to be acting as bait for somebody else to convert their kill. This is one of the slowest rounds that I think we've seen so far this game, minus a couple of executes from East Coast Gaming. Smoke comes through right into the Hornet's nest. Apparently, Hornet finds 2. Ball every day is there to trade his teammate out. And I think the game is as good as over right now. What can he even do in a scenario like this? A 2 versus 5, you're going to need to win all your gunfights confidently, but I'm not exactly believing in the dream. Asimos apparently can't either. The game is done just like that. 16-11. And again, at the time of filming this, East Coast Gaming obviously won that, but, they get off to a good start to the season here. 1-0 so far. But that being said, I'm still going to be covering the rest of their games that they have played so far. A little bit later, though. because I have some more live casts to do. Thank you for watching, Hana, and anybody else who was watching, because apparently I have more than 2 viewers. I don't exactly know why people would be watching this, but hey, I appreciate you guys watching it. That's going to do it for me for the time being, though. I will be covering more of these games a little bit later, so this is far, far from the last that you'll see of me. I just hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you very, very soon. Later.